The 2023 legislative session has officially begun. It kicked off yesterday with Governor Kevin Stitt's State of the State address, and we are getting reaction from many different state leaders from that address, and we're talking about priorities over the next few months. So here with us today to learn more is Chad Wormington, the CEO of the State Chamber. Chad, welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. So first, I just want to ask, for people who may not know exactly, what the State Chamber is, what y'all do, what your mission is, why don't you tell us that first?
Yeah, it's great. And I appreciate the question.
Yeah.
So the State Chamber of Oklahoma is made up of businesses from around the state that get together to work on policy that's going to advance and make Oklahoma a better place to do business. So our members drive our policy, and our policies are really pro-business and focused on growing Oklahoma's economy.
So, and you guys, I imagine, are very busy during the session as well.
We are, yes.
There at the Capitol. So before we get into the specifics here, just give me kind of your overall reaction from the governor's State of the State address yesterday.
Yeah, we were really pleased with the speech, and the governor's focused on a couple of our key areas, which are workforce and taxes. So for us, we're trying to make Oklahoma more competitive economically. We're about 39th ranked in the nation, and we want to see that move up. And one of the ways to do that is to work on workforce and work on our tax code.
And when we speak of workforce, I know the governor mentioned that's one of our biggest challenges, one of our biggest barriers. How can we go about building up that workforce? What are some of the specifics that you guys will be working on with the legislature?
Well, it's really a multifaceted approach.
Yeah.
What we really want to do is focus on, Oklahoma's got a lot of different entities that work on workforce, but there's no body that really owns it, that entity that helps coordinate it. So what we want to do, and the governor's working with us, he has a task force that I'm chairing with the Secretary of Commerce, Chad Mariska, to develop the infrastructure at the top. So who owns workforce? What group is thinking about it every day and helping all the other entities throughout the state that are doing it coordinate it? That's job number one for us on workforce.
Is there any area in particular that you feel like we really need people desperately right now? Any one area in particular you feel like would be really beneficial?
For sure, and that's part of the issue, right? So we have all this data that tells us we need more teachers, we need more engineers, we need more nurses, and so what are we doing to make sure we're delivering those? How can we get K-12, career tech, and higher ed aligned to focus on the professions that we need in Oklahoma that really will grow our economy? If we have the data that says we need it, but the groups that are doing it don't necessarily know it, and the business community isn't engaged, you really have misalignment. We want to fix that and get those working together.
Kind of a more streamlined
Exactly.
approach. Okay, I got you. Taxes, of course, another thing that you mentioned, huge topic of conversation. Governor really wants to see the grocery tax go away, tax cuts for everyone all around. General reactions to what he said specifically. Well,
what we're focused on, and I think the governor is as well, is how do we make Oklahoma's tax code more competitive, right? Everybody always focuses on Texas and their 0% personal income tax rate, but that's really not the whole story. If you look at the overall tax rate in Oklahoma, we can become very competitive without going to zero. So notice that the governor yesterday mentioned going to 3.9%. We applaud that effort. What we'd also like to do is make the tax code flat and then raise the standard deduction so people at the lower end of the income scale also benefit from tax relief as well.
And how are ways that the chamber, what does your next couple of months look like? I mean, how do you make these things happen? How do you communicate with the legislature? Talk to me about that process.
Yeah, that's a great question. And so we've got a team of lobbyists led by Emily Crouch, who's our senior lobbyist. So we have 3 in-house and 2 contractors, and they will spend the next 4 months working a lot at the Capitol. And really the relationship building is taking place to make sure that they understand our issues. We're providing legislators really good information, and then we're working on bills, and it's a real dialogue back and forth. And we work really hard to build trust with the legislators that the information we bring them is data-driven and accurate. And so it's just a two-way relationship of trying to get our bills across the line and then also trying to fight bills that may be hurting and impact the business community in a negative way. Hopefully those will go away.
And I imagine, you guys are really a voice for your members and for our business community here. How do you foster that relationship and keep that line of communication open between your members, and if they have concerns and addressing you? What would be your best advice to people listening today who may have some concerns from our business community?
Yeah, well, I think the best way is to engage with us, and then what we try to do is make sure we have events as well that we can get legislators to. So there's really an exchange of information between policymakers, legislators who've been elected, and business leaders who are seeing what's going on in our economy. And that's where the real magic happens. Our lobbyists do a great job. But where we really see a difference is when a business leader and a political person or legislator get together and there's an issue. That's where they can really see the benefit of the work that they're doing at the Capitol, and they can use the insight that our members can bring to them. That's where it's really special.
Okay, Chad Warmington, thanks so much for coming on today
You
with the
bet.
State Chamber. I know it's going to be really busy next few months, so make sure you keep us updated on
will.
things, and we'd love to continue reporting on that for our viewers.
Will do.
So thanks so much.